It's interesting that we talk about crusades, right? Because my crusade in life was about food. And I feel like the crusade changes so much when you go back to that conversation of being a business owner. The conversation about being a business owner, your crusade changes to protecting your business, protecting your employees, protecting your people. And it's like you're so far removed from the thing that you got into it to begin with. I got into this because I love my food. And I love the food that we produce, and I love all the things about it. And I find myself rarely talking about that anymore.
It's been at least a month or so, probably, since we did one of these, which means it's been at least that long since we talked very much about Versos. Not just Versos, but just your food in general. But I think Versos has probably become sort of a vehicle or some kind of a driver in your food and where that's going or headed or been.
I think.
So let's just kind of transition to that. Like talk a little bit about in the last. It's probably been like 4 weeks. Where is the food and where's your head on food and all that?
Well, it's an interesting topic because, like I just said, the crusade for me, if you will, for lack of a better word, I guess, has always been about food and the Miami dining scene and the community as a whole. But this year, it's like it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than just those things because in reality, it's about survival and it's about getting through. There's more for rent signs on restaurants than I've ever seen. And then equally as such, there's more restaurants that I've ever seen opening, which only means that there's big bank money going into real estate for hope of a better future. And they're just pouring that money into, real estate and restaurants and big names and so on and so forth. And the food itself oftentimes gets lost. And the food itself, I think, gets kind of forgotten because at least from the chair that I'm sitting in, I'm fortunate enough that I have incredible people around me that still have their eye on the prize and they're putting out, I think, the best product that we've ever put out. Me as a leader, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing my best job. And not because I don't care, it's because you can't see 5 feet in front of you because you don't know what you're going to walk into. Tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what new government law is going to happen or new miracle vaccine or new whatever the fuck is going to happen tomorrow. So it's like, what are we planning for? What is the menu change that we're doing? Why are we doing it? I'm looking at farmers struggling every day. I'm looking at, an employment pool that's super depleted, and I don't know where all the cooks went. I mean, there wasn't that many to begin with, but now there's even less. And I'm looking at just a food community that's hurting, and not just in Miami, around the country and around the world. Incredible restaurants have closed, and I think they will continue to close. And fear is a huge factor for me. I fear for tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, because the implications of what's happening right now will reverberate for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And we could blame it on Corona. We could blame it on politics. We can blame it on whatever the fuck we want. In essence, we have a serious fucking problem. And the problem is much deeper than the fact that we have a 12 o'clock curfew. The problems are fundamental right now. Economics, how the people of the world are feeling. And it's fucked up because I used to, and I still do, love food and coming up with new dishes and the growth of things and fighting through it. But I will say, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me, I'm exhausted. Mm-hmm. The community is exhausted. Wondering if people will show up to eat. Wondering if tomorrow we can even open. Wondering if is there going to be a restaurant stimulus thing, fucking a huge bankroll to save all restaurants. What does that even mean?
Right.
I don't know what that means. When people tell me what that means, I don't know what that means. Like, so I think, yeah, like our tasting menu series has been a highlight. I'd say one of the few highlights of the whole year. But at the same time, it's a moment in time.
Yeah.
It's like a moment in space. Everything else is hazy, and you're in this weird kind of fog. And then we have this like beautiful night, and you feel incredible. And then you enter in a fog the next day, and life continues to be. It's kind of like getting a high, right? For anyone that's ever done drugs, how it works is you enter this euphoric state, and you're very happy. And it could be drugs or alcohol, and you're very happy, and things are going great. And then you go to sleep, and you wake up, and shit sucks again. Mm-hmm. And I would say that the tasting menu is that moment for me and for a lot of my staff, because then we go back to life the next day. And life the next day is weird.
Yeah.
You know? So there was a point, I think in like January, February, I felt very confident in my food direction. I felt very confident in like the state of my growth. And then that was like stunted by the world. And it was stunted by so many other factors of just like this weird life that we're living right now. So we forced our way through to do this tasting menu series, and I think it's great. And it's like that moment of time that we all kind of like live for and we work our asses off for, but then we go back to the next day. Mm-hmm. And I think that's partly, it's this weird thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know the real state of my own food. You know, the real state of my own food is, and our food as a company, I think we're doing very well. But I think we're doing very well and fighting through so many things that not only am I exhausted, because I go to sleep tired and I wake up tired. Because I don't fucking know what the day holds for me. It's not just me. It's everyone that works around me and everyone that's working very hard to continue to do this thing. Whatever it may be, whether wait tables or be a busser or be a bartender, whatever it is. We're in this weird like moment, and they're all like, it's almost like the hamster wheel, you know? We don't know where we're going. We're just running because someone is going to dictate to us what we have to do eventually. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, the coronavirus is still a problem. Right. I mean, everything is still a problem. Everything is a problem. Yeah. I don't know if in my 35 years of life, I've ever lived a time that it's like everything is a problem. Everything from like how we deal with guests to the coronavirus pandemic to local politics to the supply chain when it comes to food to staffing to fundamentals of financials when it comes to running a business, because now everything is going to change. I don't know. I mean, food is almost the last thing sometimes that I think about. And it's a sad place to be in because it is the thing that makes me the happiest, at least professionally. So the state of the food is exhausted.
Yeah.
The state of the food is worn and tired and fighting. But the reason why, there she is. The reason why we do those things is because, Emma, I'll take one more. One more? Yeah. That you want to know?
Sure.
Yeah. The reason why we do those things is because we don't really have anything else.